I
It's
used to think that the traveling is of no use. I mean, I used to think like that because we already have internet and everything. We can learn anything whatever we wanted by just sitting in your house. So I thought, okay, what are they going to do in traveling? But now I feel like, okay, traveling will give you experience. Well, we can also try that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because when you travel, you come across a lot of things. Like because when you suppose you are going from South India to North India, you know about their culture, lifestyle. Like because totally different. As we all know, India is a
Yes,
diverse country,
especially
right?
language.
Yeah.
When you're in a place that the people don't speak your language, there you can actually experience what life is.
Yeah.
You'll really struggle for each and every smaller thing that you're doing in your hometown. It's very difficult to do there, even to get an address or to talk to someone. Because the one thing that I've learned is, if people knows that you're an outsider, if you don't belong the place, if you don't speak the language, they will try to cheat you. I've experienced in most of the places, not only in North India, even Bangalore also, even Kerala also, everywhere. When people knows that you don't speak the language, they'll try to cheat you. The auto rickshaw people, the shopkeepers, everybody says, okay, if something is just 10 rupees, and if they know that you're an outsider, they will say it's 20 rupees.
Yeah, like I was cheated one time. One time, like when I went to Telangana, I had some work there, so I went there, and I
Okay.
did not know their language, right? Like, so I was talking in English, and I booked a auto rickshaw. Like, I only had to go like 1 kilometer, and he charged me
Okay.
100 rupees, right? Like just 100 rupees. Like
One
it was not.
kilometer.
Yeah, just I could walk. He could say me like you can walk. It's not far away. He said like I will take you. Why? Don't you worry. And just he like charged me 100 rupees. When I reached there, he did not tell me like how much he is going to charge. He just said like let's see like how much what is the distance. Like he knows like but he is not telling me like what is the distance, right? And
Yeah.
just after going for 1 kilometer, he charged me 100 rupees. I was surprised like if I don't know their language, they are going to really cheat me.
Really, actually, I've experienced the same thing in Agra. When I was in Agra, me and my friend, we boarded this auto rickshaw, and he said, I'll take you to the Taj Mahal." So it's like 2 kilometers, only 2 kilometers. We were staying very closer to Taj Mahal. We don't know the exact place. I mean, we checked the maps, but the map was not clear at the time. So we booked this auto rickshaw, and this guy he took there, and he took around 150 rupees for that, for just crossing 2 kilometers. And I
Okay.
was like completely in shock. Dude, you just crossed two streets and that's all. You're asking me 150 rupees. And my friend knew a little bit Hindi. Still, he couldn't manage that. Hey,
Okay.
what, are bhaiya, what are you saying? Something like that. He mixed English and Hindi and he somehow tried to argue with him, but we couldn't do it. So then I gave him 150 rupees. Then I told him, okay, this is the last time I'm traveling in auto rickshaw in here. And we walked for the whole day. We walked. We didn't book any auto rickshaw after that.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's hard to argue, right? Like when you don't know their language, like how are you going? There is a language barrier, right? Like they are
Right.
speaking, different language. You are speaking different language, so like it's hard to argue with them as well. And when you are in
Correct.
a different state, like it's sometimes like yeah, you don't feel like arguing with someone because you are there to visit, right? Like you just
Right.
want to
You're
hang
just a
out like
tourist. Yeah.
time. Yeah, so
In
why to
case if
argue?
that happens in my hometown, I can stand there for the whole day. I can talk with him. Even if he escalates this issue to a different level, I'm ready to do that. But if you're in a different place, you didn't come there to do this thing. You came there
Exactly.
to visit the place. You're a tourist. You don't want to get into a fight. You don't want to get into a mess. So that's the reason. I gave him 150 rupees. No problem. You keep it. You enjoy yourself, and I'm leaving.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Like, yeah, it has happened also, multi-time with me. Like, I did the same thing. Okay, so like,
Okay.
what do you do these days to improve your English? Like you said earlier, you were shadowing and practicing. So, what do you do these days to brush up like your English, like vocabulary
Okay.
and all those?
Recently, for the last 1 week, I'm doing reading practice for
Okay,
30 minutes. I don't have the habit of reading books nowadays. I used to read books, but now again, I started from the last 1 week. I've been reading this book, The Alchemist.
okay,
You know,
alchemist.
Alchemist. That's a famous book. Everybody told me, okay, let me. I just downloaded the PDF of it, and I've been reading that for 10, 20 pages a day, like 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and also I'm doing this, the speaking practice with the Skype
Okay,
conversations we have. These are all the only two things that I'm doing nowadays because I'm not getting time. how do you say, this Skype session itself takes long time, and I have to edit the video and all those stuffs, and I also am managing my work, so it's very difficult. So overall I'm doing around 40 minutes of this English practice, 20 minutes of reading and 20 minutes of talking.
Okay, okay. All right.
So
That's
what type
great.
of practices are you doing?
As I already mentioned, I go on that platform like Free for Talk and I there practice, and also because I'm teacher, so usually like reading part is already like sorted because I have to read books to students, right? When I'm
Okay.
teaching, I usually teach high school, so like I have to read every day. Basically, kind of I show them like how to read books. To students like class 6th 7th, like when they don't know how to read something, so like it is sorted like I usually read in school, so I don't
Okay.
practice that. But speaking part, I have to work on every day. So yeah, I use that platform. And nowadays, like as I have come to know like you can call to someone on a Skype and have a conversation. So now I'm going to do this as well with professionals, maybe like learners, right?
Yeah.
Like
We have lots of English trainers. They also have this YouTube channels. You can approach them and you can have a very good conversation with them. And I want to know one thing. Like, since you said you're an English teacher in school, I mean, do you teach in English to the students?
not every time because they don't understand. Usually, like
Yeah,
you have to teach them mother in a mother tongue, but like you have to read the book and make them understand like what it is all about.
correct, correct. It's very difficult to teach them in English.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
an
true.
English medium school or Hindi medium school?
It's a English medium school. It's CBSE board.
Oh, CBSE board. Then it's very easy. Actually, they'll be able to understand a little bit of English at
Yeah,
least.
exactly. Sometimes I use like usually like I talk with them sometimes when I use easy sentences like basic sentences, they understand and reply to me, and I feel really happy like when they reply to me like in English language.
Okay.
Like they are at least I can say like my students can speak English, right? Like so yeah,
And
at
you're
least
speaking
yeah.
very good English, bro. I mean, your grammar and everything is really good.
Okay,
So since
thank
you're
you.
an English teacher, yeah, yeah, obviously you'll be knowing it. Hi, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, brother. Okay, please introduce yourself.
My name is Amit Kirketta. I'm
Hmm.
from Jharkhand. I have just completed my bachelor in education, like that's BA teacher training, and now I'm teaching in a high school. I'm a teacher. I teach English language.
Wow, that's great, bro.
Yeah, I have watched many of your contents. I was watching last day. Right.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a great. You are doing great. Like a lot of you are inspiring a lot of people. I was kind of afraid uploading any kind of video before YouTube. Like when I watched you, like you are doing a great job, like talking to people, making a conversational video. Then I also inspired by you, thinking maybe I should also upload, like videos like this.
Yeah, sure. Do you already have a YouTube channel or you're planning to start from today?
I have already a YouTube channel where I used to make videos.
Yeah, what's the name of the YouTube channel?
I have named it Level Up English Classes. Like that's I have named it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great, bro. That's great. Okay, so tell me about your English journey. Like, how long have you been learning English, and what are all the practices are you doing?
Yeah, I have been learning since I graduated, right? Like I was learning when I was in school as well, but I was not serious. That serious means like I have to, be able to fluent. I have to use this language to speak with people. I was not that serious. But once I graduated, like when I went for interviews, right? Like I went for interviews, I went for interviews in Amazon, I went for interviews in Misho. So then I realized like when I was taking my interviews, I realized like they are only asking questions in English.
Yeah.
I was rejected once, and then I started working on my English and started practicing in many places. Like one of the place I use usually to practice is Free for Talk. Do you know like this platform?
No, brother. This is the first time I'm hearing about that. What is it? Free for talk, right?
Yeah, Free for Talk. Like it's a website where you can practice for free. Like you don't have to pay a single penny, right? Like to practice in this platform, and you can practice here 24/7, and you are connected with a lot of people across the world, like from America, from Europe, from Asia. So like you can practice to anyone. Like I have
Oh,
been talking to native speakers for like last 1 year, right? So
oh,
it
that's
has helped
great.
me a lot. Yeah.
Maybe I'll try installing that application in my cell phone and see. And when you spoke about Amazon, Actually speaking, I've attended interviews in Amazon and I've got rejected 2 times. I've attended
Okay.
interviews and I failed in those interviews.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. They ask really tough questions sometimes, like
Yeah.
English related. So yeah, it's really tough questions they ask
Amazon,
them.
I don't know about their interview process. I don't know how they are hiring people. It's very difficult to crack those interviews. I mean, that's what I felt. I mean, this happened around 4 years ago, I can say. I don't know. Maybe if I attended an interview now, I might clear it. I don't know that.
Definitely, you're gonna clear it, right? You are really fluent, by the way. So yeah, it's
Now,
easy.
I'm not very much fluent. I'm just simply managing with my English.
Okay.
And English learning, I've been doing it for around 3.5 years now because after I joined IT work, I found out English is very much important in this field. So I focused on my English. I've been focusing still.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you sound really great, by the way. Like you said, like 3 years, right? Like, and like, how
Three,
did
three
you
and a half
improve your
years.
English, by the way, right? Like, you sound really good. Like, I want to speak like you. So, what was your journey? Like, how did you started learning? Like, what was the purpose?
Yeah, the purpose is actually to get a job. That was
Okay.
my purpose. When I was in college, yeah, I've said this in many videos, still I'll tell. The thing is, I was not good in English. I thought I knew English. I used to watch a lot of English movies and I understand English. When people speak in English, I'll be able to understand. I've known most of the English words. So I thought I'm very good in English, but the problem is when I was giving interviews, I was failing in all the interviews. They rejected me in the first round itself. I was not confident and I was not able to speak in English. I had this, I mean, of course, interview fear was there, but still I was not able to clear any interviews. Then I figured out, okay, we have a problem in communication. So that's how I started. Initially, I learned a lot of grammar. For example, for 1 year, I focused on grammar. And then I did shadowing practice. Shadowing means, when you watch a movie, when they speak in the movie, you also repeat after them, like in the same tone, like how they talk. So I've done that for some time, and then I did speaking practice. Actually, speaking practice gave me a very good edge. Like it improved my communication a lot.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay,
So
so
speaking practice is very important. That's what I can say. And
yeah,
shadowing practice will give you a good pronunciation, and you'll be able to talk like the native. I mean, you cannot get their exact accent, but you'll be able to think in a way like how the natives think while talking in English, like the choice of words they use. You can also get that while doing shadowing practice.
yeah, I know, like I was, watching one of videos of professionals, right? They said like shadowing is really important. Like if you want to sound like Americans, if you want to copy them, then definitely you have to practice shadowing. And about you mentioned about like practice, right? Like it's really important. I also agree with you, right? Because earlier I thought maybe like if you only learn grammars, if you have enough vocabulary, maybe you can easily crack interviews. You can talk to people easily, but
Yeah.
when it comes to speaking, talking to people, it's really hard. Even for interviews, like if you don't practice, you will get stuck while talking to people. So yeah, it's a
Yeah,
very important.
in interviews actually there would be a round. I think mostly for freshers there would be a round called group discussion (GD). They'll give you a topic and you have to talk about the topic for some time. That round I really struggled. I knew the points. I mean, I knew the topic, whatever they are discussing. I knew about it, but still, I was not able to comprehend in English in a proper way so that everyone can understand. I really had a bad time there. So then I realized, okay, we have to really improve our communication skills. So that's how I started doing it.
Okay, okay. All right, that's great.
Yeah. And so tell me about your hobbies, brother.
Usually, like when I have free time, usually I read books and sometimes I go play games like badminton, sometimes football, right? And sometimes I
Uh,
also like hanging out with my friends when I have a free time. We go on a ride or something like that.
so where
So
are
yeah,
you staying
right.
currently?
I'm staying in Jharkhand, Gumla. Like this is a district or one of districts of Jharkhand.
Okay, okay, got it. So when
Okay.
you said book reading, I mean, what type of books do you read?
Uh, Earlier, I liked reading kind of fictionals book, like when I was in college. But now I kind of love reading self-help book because it's
Self-help.
really important. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
These days,
I've
it's
heard a lot of people are saying self-help books. Actually, I've never read, I think I've read one self-help book, I guess. I'm not sure if I forgot it completely. Can you name any books other than
uh,
Atomic
like
Habits?
Like if you are like much into finances, you can read Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Like how
Yeah.
to make good friends, right? Right.
Rich
These are
Dad
the,
Poor Dad, that is my favorite book.
yeah,
I still
that
have
was
a
really
book with me.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. Like I never, thought like the people can write these kind of books, right? Like uh, I used to buy, a lot of, useless things. And when
Right.
I completed that book, realized like I'm doing totally, messing up with my finances. Now I doing something where I'm managing my finances, prioritizing like what I need right now, right? So yeah, it
Right.
has improved, like helped me to improve my finances since I read this book.
Yeah, for me too. Actually, I used to spend a lot of money. I usually go outside and I buy things those are not needed, first of all. And I spend a lot of money on my friends. Whatever they buy, I pay them. So I feel like that. But after reading that book, I found out financial education is very important. And especially when you're working and when you're getting salary, if you're not able to save any money, usually I rely on my credit card. I spend all my salary and then at the end of the month, I'll be swiping my credit cards to pay my bills. It used to be like that. Then after reading the Rich Dad and Poor Dad, I have this financial consciousness. So whenever I
Okay.
spend money, I always think in my mind, okay, is this really needed right now? Something like that. And I'm able to save money nowadays. I'm saving money. I've closed all my credit card accounts. I have only one
Okay.
credit card in case if there is any emergency, and I don't use it very often. I usually save money, and I'm going good now.
Okay.
That
Okay.
book actually really helped me.
Exactly, exactly. It's really helpful. Like a lot of people, kind of recommend you. Like whoever read it, they're gonna recommend you. Like you should read this book because it's really helpful. But like we should, I think, like we should get these kind of education in schools, right? Like, but
Yeah.
we are not taught these things in schools. I regret, like, not reading all these books when I was in school. Now people recommended me, and then I started reading, and then realized, like, yeah, these are the things that we are missing actually. The end goal of everyone, like whoever in this planet, maybe like is to earn money to survive and manage their finances so that they can lead a good life, right?
Yeah.
But like we are not taught in our education system. That's the irony.
Actually, in our education system, in our curriculum, we don't have this topic of financial management. How you
Exactly.
manage your finances, how much money is you're getting, and how much money you're spending outside. So we need to have this financial management topic in our curriculum. Only then we'll be able to, save some money and build a very good future. And when talking about books, have you read this book, The Psychology of Money?
Psychology, yeah, I bought it, but I haven't read it. Like I
Yeah.
have read a few pages, but I did not get much time because I was busy doing my, like bachelor's in education. So like I did not get much time to read, but like I want to read it, by the way, like when I
Even
get
I also
time.
want to read it. A lot of people they recommended that book, and I haven't bought it yet. I'm thinking of buying it. Maybe sometimes I think Psychology of Money also talks about the same thing what Rich Dad Poor Dad says. So I thought, okay, I've already known everything from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Why should I buy another book on the same topic? I was like that. I'm thinking of buying it because still people are recommending me. So let me see. And I would suggest you one book. Try this one. The first one is 48 Laws of Power. It
Okay,
was
48.
48 Laws. So it's a very famous book, and this book was written on the basis of another book, that is The Art of War.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a very interesting book. You should. This is, I mean, in the name itself, you might be thinking, okay, it's all about war and the strategies they do. But if you read that book, you'll be able to find like it's more like a self-help book. It
Okay.
talks about various situations that may, and it compares our life with war. So in war a lot of circumstances will happen, various situations will happen. Similarly the same circumstances, situations will happen in our life also. In those periods what type of decisions should we take? It talks more about that. It's a very interesting book. It will be like that book was written by an actual commander, who lived around 2000 years ago, a Chinese commander who wrote that book. The name of the person is Sun Tzu. It's a very interesting book. You should try that. It's a very
Yeah.
small book. It has around 100 pages or something.
Okay. Okay. Definitely gonna try it because like I love
Yeah,
self-help because it's help you to add value in your life. That's the very important thing. Great. What about
correct.
your hobbies? Like, what do you like doing when you have a free time?
I used to read books, but nowadays, when I get free time, I'm doing YouTube. That's the only hobby that I have. Sometimes I watch English movies. Sometimes I hang out with my friends. I go out. I roam around the city, explore things. So normal bachelor life. That's all. Not doing anything very interesting.
Okay, it's a like all the same for everyone. When they grow, become mature, maybe they don't have time. They have a lot of responsibility. So yeah, they have less time to do other activities usually, right?
Right. I think a lot of people say, just roaming around the city, hanging out with friends, you're just wasting your time. I think that has actually improved my character and maybe personality, I can say, because when you're outside, you'll get to experience different situations and you will get to handle those situations on your own. So I think whatever you learn from outside, you I mean it's you will learn it through experience rather than reading a book and getting the knowledge. You will have an hands-on experience when you go out in the street and see things, deal things.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
that's what
exactly.
I believe.
Yeah, I agree. Like when you go, like you experience things firsthand, right? And you deal with all those things. So yeah, you get experience of firsthand. And whenever you come across same kind of same set of problem, you can easily deal with all those things. So yeah, that's true.
Right, right, right.